Here. So let's start from the beginning, Brandy. So let's start off by where you from.
I am from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
But Decatur, Georgia.
Decatur. All right.
I'm from Decatur, Georgia.
Great.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Gotcha. And let's talk a little bit about your coming up, Brandy. Let's talk a little bit about coming up, your childhood. How was that?
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay.
it was a good childhood,
Okay.
to say the least. I did come from a single parent home.
Okay.
So my father was not a part of my life. Just
Okay.
to get right to that and be transparent.
Okay.
Like I said, I did grow up in Decatur, so the Belvedere area.
Okay,
So I
okay.
went to
All right.
a lot of the DeKalb County schools.
Okay.
From Avondale
Okay.
to McClendon, Idlewood. So I lived in Clarkston as well.
Okay.
In high school, I attended Redan High School.
Redan, okay.
Yes. Also Cedar Grove and
Cedar Grove
Lithonia.
and
I ended up
Lithonia.
being a Bulldog. So
Okay.
yeah, we kind of moved around a lot.
Yep.
Being that my mom was a single parent. I do have a younger sister. I am the oldest, so it's
Okay.
just two of us.
Okay.
And so went to school. Had a lot of responsibility because I am the oldest child, and so I think that kind of built who I am today. So as we get into that and talk about it, just having those type of responsibilities at a young age taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. My family is from Decatur, so
Okay.
very well known actually in the Decatur area.
Absolutely.
So after high school, I did not go to college,
Okay.
but I did not want to.
Let's stop there, Brandy. Why did you go to college?
You know what? School just was not for me, Gerald. I'm gonna be honest. I wanted to go to college, but it just did not work out for me like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Single mom.
Okay.
I mean, I could have went the route with loans and things like that, but I started working early. I started working at the age of 14.
Okay.
And so by me already having that mindset,
Yeah.
I'm making money. I actually was a server. There was a restaurant off Panola Road.
Okay.
Some people might not remember. It was called Brandon's, actually. It was a soul food restaurant.
Okay,
It was
okay.
a black family owned.
Yeah.
And I would leave school. Sometimes I would leave early to go and work. And so that was my mindset.
Yeah.
And so when I finished, I immediately went into the workforce because
Gotcha.
I was already used to making money.
Yep.
And that's what I was on. It was kind of not necessarily a survival of the fittest, but I had to take care of a lot of things myself because, again, coming from a single parent household, a lot of things I had to do. So I had to make money. So
Yeah.
college just was not on the books for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what did you do after high school in terms of working? Where did you work at?
My very first job, I served. So like I said,
Okay.
I did like Applebee's, Ruby Tuesdays.
Okay. Gotcha.
I was 19 is when I started working for a collection agency, which was
Okay.
Capital One. That kind of thrust me into the corporate arena.
Gotcha.
And from there, I like that. I like having a desk job. I like being on the phone. I like dressing up. And so I ended up just kind of dabbing into more corporate jobs.
Okay.
I actually started working for Gemellis, the Porsche Audi dealership
Okay.
off Peachtree. So
Yeah.
I started there, and I was there for quite some time. I was there full time, and then I ended up going part time. But yeah, that's where I ended up.
Gotcha. Okay. And what age was you around when you became a mother?
Ooh, so fast forwarding, when I was working and moved out, I met my kid's dad, which eventually I got married and became my husband. But
Okay.
my daughter, I was 25.
25.
I was
Okay.
25. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was enjoying life. I wasn't, I didn't have my kids super early.
Right.
Because from like 19 to 24, I was. Atlanta was popping in.
Yeah.
So I was really enjoying life. And honestly, I didn't really desire to have kids right away. It's just when I met my ex-husband, I was like, you know what? I wanted to settle down and have a family. And so,
Gotcha.
yeah, I had my daughter when I was 25.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Great stuff. So when did you get introduced to network marketing?
I got introduced to network marketing in 2016.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. And the first network marketing company was a travel company for you?
It was, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Gotcha. Talk a little bit about you getting introduced to network marketing. Like, how did that come about?
Yeah, absolutely. So after I had my daughter when I was 25, 8 years later, so in between that, I got married. Then 8 years later, I had my son.
Okay.
And so in the interim, I was working. You know, we were doing the family thing. And I landed some great jobs in corporate America. I worked for a broker-dealer, different financial firms, insurance companies, major companies. I was the assistant to vice presidents of companies, directors over different departments. So I literally scaled myself without having a college degree on top of that. Again, that's why I say it goes back to maybe just how I was brought up. Just kind of had that hustle mentality, like if I want it, I'm going to go get it. I didn't let not having a college degree discourage me. And so I went in 2008. Y'all know that's when the housing market crashed. That's when the economy had the recession.
Right.
And so I was in corporate America, and I began to experience layoffs, like multiple layoffs. And I was like, something has to change. And so I didn't want people to dictate, you know, how I paid my bills, fed my family, you know. So I was like, I got to put something else in place just in case I lose my plan A, like I kept, you know, having to experience. And so 2016 is when network marketing came in for me. And I was like, okay, I need this. Literally from 2008 up until that point, between myself and my ex-husband, we were experiencing just layoffs. And it wasn't because we weren't doing good. A lot of companies were folding, selling companies, overseas for cheaper wages and things. And so 2016, when network marketing fell into my lap, I was like, okay. It was literally game over. Had never heard of it, never done it. And it just made sense to me. And, you know, the fact of I was looking for something.
Gotcha. And was you exposed to it at like someone's home, or did you look at it online? Or
Well, my sponsor who brought me into the industry, we had known each other. Actually, we would see each other in passing at like the grocery stores. Both of us were moms, wives. We always had our kids, and we always say, you know what, girl, we got to do lunch one day. Let's just go, you know, have dinner. And we never could, because neither one of us never had time. We was always picking up the kids from the daycare and things like that. And so we became friends. We actually met in a mommy group on Facebook, and we became friends. And I had been following her. So I kind of saw what she was doing, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. And so she reached out to me. The first time she reached out to me, I guess it was nerves or mindset. I just wasn't ready. I was like, I'll let you know. I'll think about it. But the more and more I kept watching, and I started seeing she was doing things that I desired to do. She was able to eat lunch with her kids at school. I could not do that. It took me 2 hours to get to work in Atlanta and 2 hours to get home. I had no time freedom.
4-hour commute.
Yes, somebody else was raising my child. I used to have to take the kids to daycare at 5 in the morning. We'd be the first car there, because I used to actually work out here. And so to get back and forth, and I'm like, you know, let me go ahead and take a chance on this. So she actually reached out to me again, and I said, okay, it's not gonna come around the second time, and it's not meant for me. And so we talked, and I didn't even really have to see much. I just knew, I felt in my gut, this is for me. And so I went with it. I said, okay. But I signed up immediately off conversation, but I did eventually get exposed to going to a meeting.